So you guys want to be some spear-wielding badasses, huh? Yeah, so do I. But unfortunately, all I can do is show you how I do things here. So I guess first of all, let's go to the attribute points. Click on this, and you get 72 of them. So what I did was I tried to get my armor up to at least 650 maybe in armor. Yeah, at least for piercing. So, whoops, let's do that. So it'd be right about, oh, that looks good right there. Then I go agility with the rest of it. So it'd be like an even 50, just to make things easier. And if you find yourself, you know, just taking too much damage, and you know, you could always put more points into your armor. But what you want to do is get more points into agility. That's my opinion. But yeah, apply the points. Let's check out and see. So, you know, they're close to 650 for armor, and that's what I wanted. You still got some decent piercing damage, and you do use slashing damage too with the spear, believe it or not. Like Hurricane's Edge, that uses slashing, I believe. And usually when you have all Carnifex armor on, you end up with 27 for your points and everything. But I happen to have Legendary Beast Killer Spear, which gives me a +8 in strength, so my strength actually got bumped up to 35, so that's good. That's what you want. You want some added strength through your armor and maybe your weapon, just to give you, you know, a little more bang for your buck. For armor, I went all Carnifex. I started out with blue Carnifex, I worked up to purple, and now I have a couple legendary pieces. In some cases, sometimes the purple pieces are better than the legendary pieces. It all depends on the stats you're going for. But, you know, for 2 pieces, you get an extra 150 for piercing and slashing. And you have all 4 pieces, like all Carnifex, it adds +10 to all your attributes. So that's a good deal. For my weapon, I have a legendary Beast Killer Spear. It's not the best weapon, but it's not the worst weapon. It's kind of the middle of the road best. And this one happens to have +8 to strength on it, which helped. That's what got my strength up to 35. It would actually be at 27 right now if I didn't have that. So that's a good deal for, you know, extra damage. Another stat you want to try and get on your armor besides strength is leadership. I happen to have 18 leadership on this breastplate and 12 leadership on these gloves. I actually have another pair of gloves that have 21 leadership, but they're purple. And I don't really need the extra points for what I'm doing right now, so I leave it like this. When I do need the extra points, I'll change the gloves out, and it'll give me even more. I sit at 730 right now, and you can usually bring in 700 in the battles. So that gives you an advantage because you have an extra 30 points, so you can bring in either a smaller unit or you can bring in like 3 purple units when you weren't able to before. The first skill that I picked is what I'd like to call the Spear Kick. It's a must-have among spear users. It does a pretty decent amount of damage, probably about 5,000 damage to leather wearers, and for heavy armor, probably between 2,000 or 2,500. It also removes daze effects and reduces the target's block. I actually have a few examples of this, and I probably killed more players with this move than any of the other moves. next skill I use is Luke's March. I usually use that one when an opponent knocks me on my ass, basically. It gets me back to my feet. It also removes concussion and dazed. Also, every time you hit an enemy while this skill is active, your armor increases by 2% and incoming damage reduces by 2%. The effect lasts 6 seconds and can stack up to 10 times. That's pretty badass. The next skill I picked was Hurricane's Edge. It's kind of up for debate. A lot of players like to use Overhead Strike just because it's a 6-second cooldown, it does a lot of damage, and it can hit 2 targets. I just prefer Hurricane's Edge because you can attack in a full circle. Whenever the spearhead comes around, it staggers the opponent, it staggers the units. That keeps a lot of distance in between you and them, and it gives you plenty of time to set up for your next move. There's also an extra effect. Every time you hit an enemy while this skill is activated, your armor increases by 2% and incoming damage is reduced by 2%. The effect lasts 6 seconds and can stack up to 10 times. Finally, your alt move. I actually picked Dragon's Roar over Heaven's Fury. To be honest, I've never used Heaven's Fury, but by looking at it, it just seems to take a lot longer from start to finish, and you seem to be stuck in one spot while you're doing it. On paper, it looks better, does a lot more damage, but it just seems like the damage is all over and not pinpointed in one spot. With Dragon's Roar, it's quick, it's over in a second, and all the damage will pinpoint in one area. So if you can hit the guy, you're gonna hit the guy with everything. With Dragon's Roar, you also get an extra effect. This attack breaks enemies' armor, reducing their defense by 30% for 4 seconds. This is the attack I use right off of my dismount combo. We'll get to combos in a second. I first want to talk about your mounts and how important they are. For your horse, try and get the best horse you can and put the best armor you can on it. I actually have purple armor on 3 horses deep. I didn't do it all at once because that'd be insanely expensive, but over time I managed. The horse serves not only as armor for your character, but it has a lot of attacks too. The first attack off your horse is going to be the dismount. It's probably the most important one. You're going to want to ride up to your enemy, jump off your horse. It's going to do some damage to him, but better yet, it's going to knock him on his ass. And that's when you want to do your Dragon's Roar. After your Dragon's Roar, you might want to follow it up with your Hurricane's Edge, and then by that time your opponent should be near death and their instinct is going to be to run away. As soon as they run away, do your Spirit Kick, finish them off. Some opponents will be wearing lighter armor and you won't need to do your Hurricane's Edge, but just in case, you might want to try it. That might even kill them, but if they start to run off with a sliver of life, just do your Spirit Kick, you'll land them. I actually have a few examples of this combo, so enjoy. Okay, so what you want to do is ride up to your opponent, dismount, get behind him, Dragon's Roar, Hurricane's Edge, and then when he runs off, finish him off with the Spirit Kick. And don't worry if you screw up the Spirit Kick. I've done it a billion times. Just ride up, dismount, Dragon's Roar, Hurricane's Edge, and let's say you screw up the Spirit Kick. Well, don't panic, because by this time your dismount's back up. Just jump on your horse, ride after him, dismount again. The end. Another useful horse skill is the charge. See right here, I dismounted, killed that guy, I had to ruin this guy's healing, and then I jump on my horse, and I charge towards these archers, and ruin their day. Doesn't do that much damage, but it does enough damage to kill a lot of archers. The last 2 attacks are basic attacks. You can do them right from your mount. One's a lunge, which uses piercing, and another one's an overhand swing. You'll see here I'll charge in and take out the archers in the back. And then I'll start using the lunge. And it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does enough to take out smaller archer units. And then there's the overhand swing. And that's basically it for the horse. Another move you can make from your mount is to stop charges. Dismount right on the side of a charge, not directly in front of it, and do your Hurricane's Edge to take them out. With all the spear skills combined with the horse skills, this makes this class perfect for running cavalry, but it's probably a good idea to learn how to run all units smoothly. Another suggestion that I have for using a spear class or any other class is if you see that opportunity to hit from behind, do it. You're going to do way more damage, you're going to crit way more, it's just going to be way more devastating. I actually have a few examples of that, and the results are just unbelievable. One last tip I have for playing a spear class is always pay attention to your surroundings. You see that rogue walking up in stealth, jump on your horse. If you see that short sword and shield guy running up about ready to do a body slam on you, jump on your horse. I just want to take a second to thank you guys for checking out my videos. It really does mean a lot. This is actually the first of this type I've made. Hopefully I can make more in the future. I guess that depends on you guys and all the thumbs down I get. On that note, I guess I'll play a few more videos here. So enjoy.